Yeah, welcome back. We'll move on to the next topic of PPS. So, it is the structure of the C programming. Now, we start writing a C program, we have to learn exactly what is the basic structure that we have to follow uh, for writing a C programming. And let me tell you one point that C programming or C language is called as structural programming language. Now, what is the structural programming language? It is nothing but whenever a program is to be written in C code, first that particular program will be divided into small parts which are called as modules or functions, and each and every function will perform a particular task, and all these functions together will become the C program that we are writing. So since we are dividing into small parts and we are writing it in a proper manner, it is called as structural programming language. So basically we have six main steps that are involved in the structure of a C programming. The first part, as you can see, is called as documentation section, which is optional. That means you can mention it in your program or you need not. So what is this documentation section? It is nothing but giving the details of the particular program, like what is the title of the program, who is the author, when was this program developed, any other details, the time of development, or any other extra information you want to give about the program you are writing. All that things related matter to the program can be written in this documentation section, which is optional. Now, second part is the link section. Nothing but the header files what we write before starting a particular program, and these header files are mandatory, that is, they are compulsory for some particular compilers, and some particular compilers they don't ask for header files. They don't show error even if you don't mention the header files. So header files are nothing but like a standard input output header file, or console input output header file, or you can say string header file, math header file. So all these are various header files, string library header files. All these are basic header files that we will be using in our C programming. So this is the link section. Now coming on to the third one is the definition section. So in this definition section, basically we use this for when we are writing a particular program using functions concept. So if we are using user defined functions in our program, then we have to first mention that particular function we are using. That means you have to tell the compiler that you are going to use that particular function in your program. So that is called as definition section, giving the definition of whatever function you are using. And this is also optional. That means if you are using functions only, you have to mention this definition section, otherwise it is not required. Next, the fourth one is the global declaration section. Here declaration is generally done in the main. Declaration is nothing but initializing your variables, like we write int a or char b. So these are in declarations. So these declarations can be done globally in the sense whatever you write above the main function, they are called as globally. So when we declare a particular variable above the main function, that particular variable can be used inside your main function as well as the functions which you are creating on your own. So that is called as global declaration. So we will better understand this global declaration when we understand the concept of functions, or when we understand the concept of storage classes. So in storage classes, one particular storage class we have is extern. Using that extern, we can perform this global declaration section. So this is also optional. Now coming on to the fifth one, which is the main part of our C programming, it is the main function. So all the C programming, whatever we write, they start with the main function. So it is mandatory. Without main function, there is no C programming. Inside this main function, first we have two main parts, the variable declaration part and the executable part. So first, suppose we want to add two numbers a and b. So first you have to declare those variables, like you have to tell the compiler that you are going to use two variables a and b which are of integer type, and you are going to add them and you're going to save them into another variable called as C. That is called as variable declaration, telling the compiler that you're going to use so and so numbers in your program. The next part of your main is your executable part. Here you perform the actual arithmetic calculations like C equal to A plus B, printf C. This is what you're going to do in the executable part. Now coming on to the sixth is called as subprogram section or user defined functions, which is also optional. So if we are using functions concept, then we have to go for this sixth part where we whatever definition in the definition section, whatever function we have mentioned, the code for that particular function will be written in the sixth part. That will be executed, and whatever function we are the code we are writing in the sixth part, that particular function will be called in the main function. So please remember this. Okay, so these are the 6 steps in the structure of C programming. See you with the next tutorial. Thank you.